What's going on, everybody? It's Jeremy coming to you with another video, and today we're going to do a quick review of Ghostbusters Afterlife. I am fresh off of seeing it, sitting in my truck. The exhaust is going. You can probably hear it. It will probably offend a few soy latte drinking soy boys, and that's the intent behind it. But in terms of the movie itself, man, this was a confusing movie. This is a very confusing movie because it's all over the place. It doesn't know what it wants to be. Now, I went into it wanting to love it, and I enjoyed a lot of it. I enjoyed a lot of this movie, but it doesn't know what it wants to be. It can't commit to what it wants to be because at times it wants to be Stranger Things or Super 8, but then it wants to remind you of the Ghostbusters, and it has these kids, and obviously we have Stranger Things, which is a widely received popular show. I really enjoyed Super 8. I know a lot of people probably don't look at that movie in a favorable way because of J.J. Abrams, but I really enjoyed Super 8, and I enjoyed the first 2 seasons of Stranger Things, and those things are going to be relevant in your mind when you're watching this. Plus, you've got the Stranger Things kid in it, but this movie doesn't know what it wants to be. It's all over the place. I enjoyed it for the most part, but it's not a great movie. But with that said, and I put a tweet out talking about this, with my criticisms of it, it's okay, it's a fine movie, it's not a bad movie, it's not a good movie, it's just kind of everywhere and all over the place. But my goodness, I don't get emotional in movies very often, but this movie beat my ass in the end. And it is one of the most powerful and special and beautiful things I have ever seen in a movie. Ever. It doesn't make me forgive the rest of the movie, but I think a lot of people are going to feel that way. And I actually was talking to Ryan Kennel from RK Outpost, and he literally said the same thing to me. It's kind of like Rogue One, where a lot of people see that final Vader scene, or either the final 45 minutes of Rogue One, and they forget how boring the first 3/4 of Rogue One was. But in terms of this movie, there's a lot to like, but there's a lot that's not to like as well. The comedy is hit or miss. Most of the characters are irrelevant, and you don't get to know them. You don't get to know who they are. And it spends most of its time doing callbacks to Ghostbusters, which I appreciate, but they're relying too heavily on that, and they're not letting this movie become what it needs to become. And it has an identity crisis. That's what this movie has. It has an identity crisis where it doesn't know what it wants to be. Therefore, you don't know what it wants to be. But my goodness, the special moment I'm talking about, it kicked my ass. It is so gorgeous, and it is so worth seeing this movie simply for that, because it's beautiful and it's well done, and you can tell that the heart was in the right spot. The delivery, though, the execution just wasn't there for me in a lot of ways in this movie. I found myself rolling my eyes during a lot of scenes in this movie without going into spoilers. There's just a lot of moments where I'm like, really? Like, come on. Really? That happened? Like, how does this person know how to do this suddenly? Wait a minute. You've established that they don't know how to do this, yet now they know how to do that. It's so crazy. It's a movie that doesn't know what it wants to be, and it's trying its best, but it has a heart. It does have heart. Overall, I would give this movie probably a 6 out of 10, but it does have one of the most beautiful and powerful moments that I've ever seen in a movie. And that's not enough, and it's not to take away from that moment. I'm just saying that there's not enough in this movie to make me look at that unbelievably powerful moment and just overlook the rest of the movie. It's just not a good movie, but it left me smiling, and it left me emotional as hell, and it made me at least appreciate that their heart was in the right place. But unfortunately, it just was, it's a whole mixed bag of problems with lack of consistency, lack of character development, lack of knowing what it wants to be, but ultimately, at least at its core, having the heart that it needs and honoring Ghostbusters. So you guys let me know your thoughts in the comments below. I'll be on the road, and I'm going to be very, very much like Ghostbusters Afterlife. I'll be hit or miss for the next week because I'm going to be traveling, and I've got some stuff going on. But Ryan will be holding it down. Krista will be holding it down. The rest of the team will be holding things down. I appreciate all of you, and I would recommend going and seeing Ghostbusters Afterlife, because ultimately the heart is in the right spot, and that's really all you can really ask for. They tried, they just didn't really deliver, but it really did hit the emotional points towards the end. You guys have a great day. Thank you very much for checking out this video, and we will talk to you later.